Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Corson, the founder and director of MVP Recovery here in Delaware County. I'm also a person in long-term recovery myself. I want to thank everyone for coming out here tonight. This event is to celebrate recovery. All of us, I would imagine that the majority of everyone in this room has been affected and touched by addiction one way or another, whether it's personally, a loved one, or your community. And we know what the devastation that addiction causes. We know the consequences of addiction. However, due to different things such as anonymity, we rarely see the other side of addiction, and that is recovery. People are recovering every day, and it's really important to get that message out there. Because as we watch the news and we read the papers and we see about the overdoses and the deaths, that is a reality of addiction, we don't hear about the success stories. And there are success stories every single day. Very proud to be working here in Delaware County with the many, many treatment providers you see around here, because it is a collaboration. And through the support and through additional funding that has come through from many of our political leaders, we have been able to help many people get into treatment and obtain and maintain long-term sobriety, and that is the goal. Oftentimes, we will hear individuals talk about, individuals in the community talk about, is anything getting better? All I see is, the negative effects. And the bottom line is, as we talk about this opioid epidemic that many of us are very aware about, we talk about here in Delaware County, there's a recovery epidemic. Because every single day, people are recovering from drugs and alcohol, and they're helping other people into the program of recovery. I'm proud tonight to present 14 of those individuals. Here at MVP Recovery, we were founded in 2014. As myself, as a person in recovery and working in the addictions field, one of the things that I saw as a counselor at different treatment centers was that there was not quality sober living here in Delaware County. So oftentimes I was sending my clients to other counties and other states. And these individuals were returning, and I wouldn't see them again until they entered treatment. And I would ask them, what happened? And the standard answer that I got was, I went there, I got a sober support, a sober sponsor, sober friends, and then I decided to return back home, and I lost my sober sponsor, my sober friends, and my sober support. And it didn't take long after a certain amount of time out of boredom to reach out to those old friends, go to those old places and start doing those old things. And one of the things that I identified and shared with my wife, Chrissy, was, we needed a sober living community here in Delaware County that at the time did not exist. And through our efforts, since that time, MVP Recovery opened our first house in Delaware County, with 6 beds in our program, and we now have 16 recovery homes with 104 people in our program, with almost 90 plus graduates, 80% of whom have remained clean and sober since graduating our program. And why? And why? It's for the exact reason that Chrissy talked about at the beginning of this program. There's different pathways to recovery, but recovery is the same thing for everyone. Those of us that struggle with addiction, we want a good life, okay? That's what we want. And in order to do that, there's different components to that. There's a whole circle, there's a whole pie, and we have to identify all of those. And what we did here at MVP is early on we identified that individuals coming in, we need treatment. Treatment's very important. And treatment here at MVP, trauma counseling, dual diagnosis counseling, runs parallel with people's 12-step recovery program. In addition to that, as Christine was talking about, identified individuals want employment, want gainful employment. And when that was a struggle for our residents, we went to our county leaders, and the Second Chance Employment Program was initiated. And we have EDSI that represents that here tonight, and an excellent program that are helping individuals that are in recovery get back to work. It started as a pilot program at MVP. It is now a Delaware County-wide program, and one of our MVP legacy, who is now employed by EDSI, is running it in Philadelphia. Jackie, could you stand? You know, and that's what I'm proud of. Here we are in Delaware County, and there's initiatives that have begun here that when I talk to colleagues across other counties, across the states, that they're behind in some aspects. Things that we started here, for us to start that employment program before Philadelphia, and for them to be modeling that. You know, we take a lot of pride in that. We've had, this last few months alone, you know, we had an opportunity where we had United States Senator Pat Toomey come down and tour the MVP homes and ask us to be part of a Senate congressional hearing that they had. We had U.S. Congresswoman Mary Gay Scallon meet with our MVP residents and ask, you know, what resources can we help on a federal level. So we're very proud of this little program in Delaware County that started off is just an opportunity to provide that sober support and provide a community for those that were seeking that sober support. To be identified and recognized by local, state, and national leaders. And to see that regardless of what side of the aisle anybody's on, this problem affects everyone. This is about people, this is about lives. And this is a community problem, and it needs a community solution. And MVP has stepped up to the plate, and we thank all the local leaders, especially people that come to all our events and participate, our sponsors, District Attorney Cadione Copeland and the Heroin Task Force, Springfield Cares, different community collaborations coming together, Delaware County Council, OBH, all the treatment centers that you see around here. This is all a collaborative effort, and MVP is very proud to work with each and every one of them. What I want to do today is I want to bring up one of our sponsors who is one of the chairs of the Springfield Cares Coalition. And I want him to share a little bit about what they're doing and their affiliation here with MVP Recovery. And after that, we're going to listen to our speakers tonight. And our speakers are going to share their recovery journey. And they're going to be presented by loved ones. And their loved ones are going to have an opportunity to share what their recovery journey means to them. Because one of the things we need to remember is addiction is a family disease. And recovery needs to be a family process. And that's why here at MVP, we put on events like this to allow family members to get involved and to get invested. All those sleepless nights, all those worry, all those tears when individuals are in addiction, family members deserve to experience the joy and the freedom and the happiness that's on the other side in recovery. So I thank each and one of you for coming here tonight, and I'd like to bring up Sean Rogers.